Welcome back to the deep dive. So if you've tuned in, chances are you're feeling it. That sense of being overwhelmed. Maybe it's work, the pressure there. Maybe it's personal stuff going on. Or just, that constant background hum of anxiety. Life just feels so fast.
It really does. It's that cycle, isn't it? The racing mind, maybe feeling a bit short-tempered, all that physical tension building up. It can be really, really debilitating.
Yeah, absolutely. And feeling stuck like that, sometimes it feels like there's too much information out there on how to fix it.
Oh, definitely. You should manage stress, but then you look at all the advice that meditate, exercise, change your diet, find a therapist, and trying to figure that out becomes, well, another stressor itself.
Exactly, which is why we wanted to do this deep dive. We've looked at a great stack of sources, and the focus isn't on some complex new philosophy. It's actually about immediate, actionable steps.
Yeah.
Really simple stuff.
That's right. So our mission today is basically to give you a shortcut. We're pulling out the 10 best science-backed, simple ways to calm your mind, to kind of lift that weight.
And these aren't just like quick fixes that don't last, right?
No, not at all. These are real interventions, physiological, cognitive, things you can literally start doing right now, today, to break that cycle. We're treating the mind and body as the connected system they are.
Okay, so starting with the body first.
Exactly. Hitting the physical side first for that immediate relief.
All right, let's get into it then. Part 1, immediate physiological intervention. Like you said, hitting the body's reset button. Because stress is physical, isn't it? Heart races, shoulders tense up.
Instantly. So these first 3 strategies, they tackle that physical response directly, head on.
Okay, so when that fight or flight thing kicks in, our body thinks there's danger, right? Like ancient wiring.
Precisely. Heart pounds, blood pressure goes up, and crucially, your breathing gets really fast and shallow up in the chest.
Right. So strategy 1 is about cutting that off quickly.
Yes. Practice deep breathing. We're calling it the cortisol counter.
The cortisol counter. I like it.
And this is really foundational. The sources we looked at were super specific about the technique. It's not just take a deep breath. It needs a rhythm.
Why the specific rhythm?
Because that rhythm sends a direct signal of safety deep into your nervous system. The technique they recommend is the 4-4-6 rhythm.
Okay, break that down. 4-4-6.
You inhale slowly, count to 4. Hold the breath gently, count to 4. And then exhale slowly, really slowly, for a count of 6.
So the exhale is longer. That's the key part.
That is absolutely the key. You want to maximize the time you spend exhaling, because that's how you speak directly to your vagus nerve.
The vagus nerve, that's the big communication line between brain and body.
It's the main one. And it controls the parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and digest system. When you consciously lengthen that exhale, you stimulate the vagus nerve.
And that tells the body.
It immediately starts to lower your heart rate, improve heart rate variability.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like flipping a switch from panic to calm down.
Yeah. So if my body's acting like there's a tiger chasing me, that slow 6-second exhale is basically saying, nope, no tiger here, you can chill out.
Exactly that. And this is so important because chronic stress really messes with what's called the HPA axis, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis.
That's the system releasing cortisol, the stress hormone.
Right. In short bursts, cortisol is fine, gives you energy. But with chronic stress, that system gets stuck on. It just keeps pumping out cortisol. The normal shutoff signal breaks down.
So your body stays in stress mode long after the actual stressor is gone.
Precisely. And that leads to all sorts of physical problems down the line. Weakened immune system, problems regulating blood sugar, even muscle breakdown. It's pretty serious stuff.
Wow. Okay, so just using that simple 4-4-6 breathing, even for just a minute or 2.
You're physically intervening in that chemical process.
Yeah.
You're lowering cortisol.
Yeah.
And you're also helping release GABA. Yeah, it's a neurotransmitter that has a calming effect. It inhibits nerve activity. So it's a genuine chemical and neurological reset. And you can do it anytime, anywhere. No equipment needed.
That's incredibly powerful for something so simple. Okay, moving to strategy number 2. This one seems to fit right alongside the breathing. Go for a short walk, using endorphins.
Yeah, and the beauty here, as the sources really highlighted, is just how simple and accessible it is. You don't need fancy workout clothes or a gym membership.
Just step outside.
Just step outside. The key seems to be a short 10-minute stroll. That's the number that kept coming up.
10 minutes. And it's not about, like, intense exercise, just gentle movement.
Exactly. Low intensity. 10 minutes seems to be the sweet spot to get this triple benefit that starts breaking down stress almost immediately.
Okay, triple benefit. What's the first one?
First is just the physical movement itself. It helps your body metabolize and clear out some of that excess cortisol and adrenaline that are floating around when you're stressed, kind of like burning it off.
Okay, gets rid of the stress chemicals. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Second,
The movement releases endorphins. Those are your body's natural mood boosters and pain relievers. Gives you that slightly better feeling almost right away.
nature's stress relief. And the third benefit you mentioned, something about the environment.
Yes, fresh air and natural light. That combination is fantastic for your mood and your brain, especially if you've been stuck inside under artificial lights.
Right, gets you out of the stale office air.
And the natural light, even if it's a cloudy day, is crucial for regulating your circadian rhythm, your internal body clock.
Ah, so it helps with sleep later, too.
Definitely. Better sleep means less stress, which we'll get to. Plus, daylight helps stabilize your mood. And there's more the actual act of walking, that rhythmic side-to-side movement. Some research suggests it helps the brain process anxiety. It's almost like it walks the worry out, takes the emotional edge off.
So it's not just clearing your head. You're actively processing stuff while also setting yourself up neurologically for a better day. Very cool.
It really is.
Okay, the third immediate physical strategy. This one feels almost too basic, but our sources really emphasized it. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, this is one of those counterintuitive things we miss when we're feeling stressed and frantic, you know. We reach for coffee, maybe sugar,
Guilty.
but we forget the absolute basic need: water. The research was clear. Even being mildly dehydrated makes stress feel significantly worse. It actually amplifies the symptoms.
Really? Why? Is it just feeling generally rubbish?
It's a bit more direct than that. When you're dehydrated, your body senses that as a physical strain. And guess what system kicks in?
Let me guess. The HPA axis again.
You got it. Dehydration can actually trigger a small cortisol release. Your body interprets being thirsty as a low-level threat.
Oh, okay.
Plus, your brain is about, 75% water? It needs enough hydration for basic functions, like maintaining electrolyte balance for neurotransmitters to work properly. When water levels drop, your thinking gets fuzzy. Cognitive function takes a hit. Simple tasks feel harder.
So that brain fog when I'm stressed might literally be my brain saying, hey, I need some water to think straight.
That could absolutely be part of it.
Yeah.
That feeling of being overwhelmed might stem partly from a simple water deficit, causing a minor chemical imbalance.
Ah.
So drinking a glass of water when you feel that way, it's not just about quenching thirst. It signals to your body that a basic need is met, helping to turn off that minor stress response. It can bring this feeling of clarity, almost lightness.
Okay, that rounds out the immediate physical resets. The 4-4-6 breath, the 10-minute walk, and just drinking a glass of water. Simple, but powerful.
Body first. Now we can shift gears a bit.
Right, because sometimes the physical stress, like from dehydration, feels similar to the stress from just mental clutter. Too much going on upstairs.
Exactly. So let's move into part 2, cognitive control. This is about strategies to manage the thoughts, the emotions, the internal noise.
If part I was hardware, this is the software update.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Updating the mental software.
Okay, strategy number 4. This sounds like mental hygiene. Write it down. Journaling, basically.
Yes, but thinking of it less like a Dear Diary thing and more as a strategic tool. A way to process emotions.
What's the core problem it's solving?
It's really about cognitive load. When you're stressed, your thoughts just race, right? All these worries, the to-do list, maybe an argument you had, fears about the future.
Yeah.
They just swirl around.
Yeah, like open tabs on a browser, slowing everything down.
That's a perfect analogy. Journaling, or doing a brain dump as some call it, is like moving those thoughts onto an external hard drive. You get them out of that chaotic space in your mind and onto a page.
And that makes them less
emotionally charged. Once it's written down, it's something you can look at, maybe organize, or just acknowledge. It's not this vague, looming threat anymore. It becomes more manageable.
Interesting. Now, the sources mentioned 2 different ways to use writing. One was jotting down worries, like the brain dump, but the other was making a gratitude list. Do they work the same way in the brain?
They achieve a similar outcome, stress reduction, but through different mechanisms. Both really powerful.
Okay, so writing worries down gives distance. What does gratitude do?
Writing down worries engages the logical parts of your brain, helps you get perspective. Gratitude, on the other hand, actively forces your brain to scan for the positives. You see, stress makes us focus on threats. That's negativity bias, an old survival mechanism.
Right, we look for what's wrong.
Exactly. A gratitude list is a direct countermeasure. You're deliberately telling your prefrontal cortex, okay, find the good stuff, find the resources, the positive anchors. This actually shifts your brain chemistry boosts mood, and combats that fear cycle.
So one is about offloading the negative, the other is about actively cultivating the positive.
Precisely. Both help the brain process emotions instead of just letting them spin out of control. It stops that destructive momentum.
Got it. Okay, strategy 5. This one's everywhere, but maybe misunderstood. Practice mindfulness or meditation.
Yeah, it's achieved buzzword status, hasn't it? But for good reason.
Let's clarify first. Mindfulness and meditation, same thing. The sources seem to make a slight distinction.
They're very related, but yes, slightly different. Mindfulness, as the sources defined it, is more the state of being aware, being present, right here, right now, not worrying about the future that hasn't happened or dwelling on the past you can't change, just being anchored in this moment.
Okay, so mindfulness is the goal state.
And meditation is the practice. It's the tool you use, often focusing on your breath or sounds or doing a body scan to train your mind to achieve that state of mindfulness more easily and more often.
Right. And the research we looked at really stressed that you don't need to become some kind of guru. Even just 5 minutes a day makes a difference.
A huge difference. And that's because of what the practice does to a part of the brain called the default mode network, the DMN.
The DMN, what does that do?
That's the network that lights up when your mind is idle or wandering. It's involved in thinking about yourself, ruminating, daydreaming.
Ah, the internal chatterbox.
Exactly. And in people who are highly stressed or anxious, this DMN is often overactive. It keeps them stuck in loops of self-criticism, worry, replaying events.
So meditation helps quiet that down.
It does. By deliberately focusing your attention, say, on your breath for those 5 minutes, you're training your brain to shift away from that default chatter. You're strengthening other attention networks.
And over time,
this makes your brain less reactive to stressful thoughts or external triggers. It slows down the racing thoughts, eases anxiety, and gives you this real sense of feeling more grounded, more centered.
And using apps can help get started, like Headspace or Calm.
Yeah, the sources mention those as great tools. They provide structure and guidance, making it much easier, especially when you're beginning. Takes the guesswork out of it.
That structure is helpful. Okay, strategy 6 feels a bit lighter, maybe more immediately enjoyable. Listen to music you love.
Well, music is such a fast track to changing your mental state. It kind of bypasses your logical brain and goes straight for the limbic system.
The emotion center.
Right. Which is why it can have such a dramatic, immediate effect on your mood and stress levels.
Now, I had a question about this based on the sources. If I'm feeling really panicked or acutely stressed, should I listen to, like, upbeat dance music? Wouldn't that just hype me up more? Did they talk about different types of music?
That's a really important point. Yes, the application depends on the goal. If you're in the middle of a panic attack or feeling super agitated, the aim is physiological downregulation.
Okay, so calm music then.
Exactly. You'd choose music with a slower tempo, generally under 60 beats per minute. Think classical ambient nature sounds.
Yeah.
Something that helps cue your heart rate and breathing to slow down. That's the relaxation approach.
And the upbeat music, when is that helpful?
That's useful if your stress feels more like mental fog, fatigue, low mood, or sadness.
Yeah.
In that case, something upbeat, maybe something that makes you want to move or sing along. That serves a different purpose. It's not just about calming down. It's about providing an active, positive distraction. It shifts your focus away from the stressor, maybe triggers positive memories associated with the song.
Ah, so familiarity helps too.
Definitely. Familiar, loved music provides a sense of neurological safety. It reminds your brain of good times. So whether it's calming or energizing, music just forces a different, usually better feeling into the moment and reduces that sense of tension.
Makes sense. Okay, strategy number 7. This might be the most fun one. Laugh more.
The source is called laughter, literal medicine for stress. And they weren't exaggerating. It's not just a nice idea. There's real physiology behind it.
Okay, unpack that. Why is it medicine? What's happening physically?
Well, when you have a really good, hearty laugh, several things happen instantly. You force air out, then take in more oxygen. Great if stress has made your breathing shallow. Your muscles tense up and then release a powerful relaxation effect that can last for quite a while after you stop laughing.
Okay, so physical release. What about the chemical side, the feel-good stuff?
Absolutely. Laughter triggers the release of endorphins, those natural mood lifters we talked about with walking. It also boosts dopamine, the reward chemical. And crucially, studies show that laughter actually reduces the levels of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline circulating in your system.
So you're literally flushing out the bad stuff and replacing it with good stuff.
You are. You're purging stress hormones and flooding your system with positivity chemicals.
And the great thing is, you don't have to wait for life to be hilarious. The sources suggested ways to induce laughter, right?
Exactly. You can be proactive. Watch a funny clip online, listen to a comedian or a funny podcast, call a friend who makes you laugh, share a joke. It's like having an active treatment plan you can deploy anytime.
Instant mood shift. Love it.
It's powerful.
Okay, so we've covered the immediate physical resets and the cognitive tools for managing thoughts and emotions. Now we're shifting again.
Yeah, now we move into part 3, environmental and systemic support. These are more about the bigger picture, the habits and structures you put in place in your life to build long-term resilience and make your environment less stressful overall.
Got it. Building a calmer foundation. Strategy number 8 tackles something huge in modern life. Limit screen time. Seems obvious, but the research dug deeper.
Oh, much deeper than just screens are distracting. The sources pointed to 3 main ways. Screens overload our brains and ramp up stress.
Okay, what are they?
First, the constant barrage of notifications. Every ping, buzz, or pop-up forces your brain to switch tasks, even if just for a microsecond. This leads to serious cognitive fatigue.
Right, your brain never gets to fully focus.
And each notification is like a tiny shot of adrenaline. It keeps your HPA axis slightly activated, always on alert, thinking something urgent needs attention. That constant low-level vigilance is chronic stress.
Always waiting for the next interruption. Okay, what's the second way?
The sheer volume of information, especially negative news and social media comparison, it creates this sense of perpetual crisis or inadequacy. Endless scrolling just feeds the anxiety loops.
And the third, something physical.
Yes, the blue light emitted from screens. Especially in the evening, this blue light messes with your body's production of melatonin.
The sleep hormone.
Exactly. So screen time before bed directly sabotages your sleep quality, which, as we'll see, is a massive stress amplifier. You end up stressed because you can't sleep well, and you can't sleep well partly because of the screens. Vicious cycle.
Ugh. Okay, so what's the practical solution? Ditch all tech.
No, the sources were realistic. It's about mitigation, not necessarily elimination. The key is taking small, deliberate digital breaks.
How small?
Even just 30 minutes away from screens during the day can make a noticeable difference. It gives your prefrontal cortex, your brain's CEO, a chance to recover from the constant input. Lets your focus refresh.
And you could use that 30 minutes for one of the other strategies.
Perfect. Go for that 10-minute walk, do the 4-4-6 breathing, grab a glass of water, read a physical book, stack the strategies.
Smart. Okay, strategy number 9 taps into something deeply human. Connect with someone you trust.
Yeah, this is about leveraging our social nature. When stress builds up, a common reaction is to withdraw, to isolate ourselves. But that usually makes things feel worse, heavier.
So reaching out helps.
Immensely. Just talking to someone you trust, a friend, partner, family member, mentor, can have an immediate lightening effect. It gets the worries out of the echo chamber of your own head.
And the sources had a really key insight here. Often what we need most is just someone to listen, not necessarily someone to fix the problem.
That's so true. Sometimes we hesitate to reach out because we feel like we're burdening people or we think they need to provide answers. But often, just being heard, being validated is the most powerful part.
Why is that so powerful neurologically?
It taps into something called co-regulation. When you talk to someone who is calm and empathetic, your nervous system can actually start to sync up with theirs. Hearing a calm voice, feeling understood, it helps activate your own parasympathetic rest and digest system.
Ah, so their calm is contagious.
In a physiological way, yes. Plus, positive social connection triggers the release of oxytocin.
The bonding hormone or cuddle hormone.
That's the one. Oxytocin directly counteracts the effects of cortisol. It signals safety, trust, belonging. It's a potent, natural anti-stress chemical produced just by connecting with someone.
So having someone simply witness your struggle reminds your brain you're not facing the threat alone. That shared feeling reduces the burden.
Absolutely. It's fundamental to our wiring. Which brings us to the final strategy, number 10. And the sources were unanimous. This one is the bedrock. Prioritize sleep.
The foundation for everything else. If the other 9 are the bricks, sleep is the concrete they sit on.
Couldn't have said it better. The research shows a direct, strong link. Compromised sleep and stress levels don't just creep up, they skyrocket.
Why is lack of sleep so devastating for stress management?
Well, a sleep-deprived brain is an emotionally volatile brain. Your amygdala, the fear center, becomes hyperreactive. Your prefrontal cortex, which helps regulate emotions and make decisions, goes offline. Your stress threshold just plummets.
So tiny annoyances feel like major catastrophes.
Exactly. Plus, there's the vital cleanup process that happens during deep sleep. The brain has this glymphatic system that flushes out metabolic waste products, including stress-related toxins that build up during the day.
Like taking out the brain's trash.
Pretty much. If you don't get enough deep sleep, you don't complete that cleanup. You start the next day still carrying some of yesterday's chemical stress residue. You're already behind before you even start.
Okay, so sleep is non-negotiable. What were the practical tips from the sources for improving it? They gave 3 main ones, right?
Yes, 3 core pillars of good sleep hygiene. First, consistency is king. Stick to a regular sleep schedule, same bedtime, same wake-up time, as much as possible, even on weekends.
Even weekends? Ouch.
It makes a huge difference in regulating your internal body clock, your circadian rhythm. That controls hormone release, including melatonin and cortisol. Regularity stabilizes the whole system.
Okay, consistency. Second step. Ties back to screens.
Yep. Avoid screens for at least an hour before bed.
Mm-hmm.
That blue light, as we said, suppresses melatonin. You need that melatonin to rise naturally to feel sleepy. So give your brain a screen-free buffer zone.
Makes sense. And the third step?
Create a calming bedtime routine. Something predictable and relaxing that signals to your brain and body, okay, the day is winding down now, time to prepare for rest.
What kind of things?
Could be anything that works for you. Reading a physical book, not on a screen, taking a warm bath, listening to calming music, doing some light stretching, maybe that 4-4-6 breathing exercise again, having a cup of herbal tea. The key is that it's relaxing for you and you do it consistently.
It's like a ritual to transition from chaos to calm.
Exactly. It creates the necessary psychological and physiological shift.
Yeah.
And the payoff for prioritizing sleep is enormous. A well-rested mind is just fundamentally more resilient. It's more emotionally stable, thinks clearer, and can handle challenges without going straight into panic mode. Sleep is where you repair the damage from daily stress.
Wow, that's a fantastic set of tools, 10 really concrete strategies.
Whole toolkit.
Okay, let's do a quick recap then, just to pull it all together for everyone listening.
Sounds good. So I was the immediate physical stuff.
Yeah.
Deep breathing, that 4-4-6 rhythm targeting the vagus nerve.
Right, then the short walk, just 10 minutes, for endorphins and cortisol metabolism.
And staying hydrated, because even mild dehydration spikes cortisol. Basic but crucial.
Then we moved into part 2, the cognitive toolkit. Writing it down brain dump or gratitude list to process emotions.
Practicing mindfulness or meditation, even just 5 minutes, to calm the default mode network.
Listening to music you love. Choosing calm or upbeat based on your need. To shift mood fast.
And laughing more actively, seeking it out as literal stress medicine.
And finally, part 3, the systemic supports. Limiting screen time, especially those notifications and blue light before bed.
Connecting with someone you trust. Tapping into co-regulation and oxytocin.
And the big one, prioritizing sleep with a consistent schedule, screen-free evenings, and a calming routine.
That's the 10, a powerful set.
It really is. And I think the key message here, the encouragement we want to offer is you don't have to do all 10 tomorrow, right?
Oh gosh, no. Please don't. That would just create more stress, trying to implement 10 new habits at once.
So the goal isn't perfection.
Not at all. The goal is intervention. Just pick one. Or maybe 2.
Yeah.
Whichever one's resonated most with you as you were listening.
Maybe it's the breathing because you can do it anywhere.
Or maybe it's committing to that 30-minute screen break before dinner. Or just making sure you have a water bottle nearby.
Start small. Be consistent.
Exactly. And you will notice a difference. Maybe not overnight, but consistently applying even 1 or 2 will improve your mental health, make you feel less reactive.
Which brings us to that final thought to leave people with, building on all this. The sources were pretty clear. Stress itself isn't going away entirely.
No, life happens. Challenges come up, deadlines hit, difficult things occur. That's just life. Input, data.
But the key takeaway, the real power here, is that by using strategies like these, stress doesn't have to control you.
Precisely. Resilience isn't some magical trait you're born with or without. The research suggests it's more like a muscle. You build it.
Oh.
By proactively stacking these small, intentional actions. By choosing how you respond. The ultimate power you gain from understanding this stuff isn't just knowing what helps stress.
It's knowing you can do something about it.
Yes. It's realizing that stress is just information, and you have tools to manage your response to that information with control, instead of just reacting automatically with chaos. That knowledge and putting it into action, that's your greatest asset for navigating, well, everything.